Chag Sameach, everyone. Today is Simchat Torah, a day on which we get together and sing and dance and celebrate the Torah in a kind of a blowout at the end of a long holiday season. Let's start with a song that celebrates Torah. The words are easy. It's Torah, Torah. Torah tziva lanu Moshe and Morasha Kihilat Yaakov. Torah tziva lanu Moshe, which is in the Torah reading for this morning, but not the part we're going to read. Torah, 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 tziva lanu Moshe. Torah, 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 tziva lanu Moshe. Torah, 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 tziva lanu Moshe. Torah, 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 tziva lanu Moshe. Morasha Kehilat Yaakov, Morasha Kehilat Yaakov, Morasha Kehilat Yaakov, Torah tziva lanu Moshe. And here's that very famous Hava Nagila. Let's be happy. We're going to be happy about the Torah. Hava Nagila, Hava Nagila, Hava Nagila v'nismecha. Hava Nagila, Hava Nagila, Hava Nagila v'nismecha. Hava neranena, Hava neranena, Hava neranena v'nismecha. Hava neranena, Hava neranena, Hava neranena v'nismecha. Achim, Urachim b'lev sameach, Urachim b'lev sameach, Urachim b'lev sameach, Urachim b'lev sameach, Urachim, Uruachim b'lev sameach. And we begin our service on page 2 with the Shema. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed. And in the English at the bottom of your page, hear, O Israel, the Lord our God, the Lord is one. Blessed is his glorious kingdom forever and ever. You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your might. And these words which I command you this day shall be in your heart. You shall diligently teach them to your children, speaking of them when you sit in your house, when you walk on the way, when you lie down, and when you rise up. You shall bind them as a sign upon your hand, and they shall be frontlets between your eyes, and you shall write them upon the doorposts of your house and upon your gates. And we are going to go directly to the Amidah on the next page. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei Avoteinu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim v'Konei Hakol, v'Zocher Chasdei Avod, Umevi Goel Livnei B'neihem, L'ma'an Shemo B'Ahava. Blessed are you, Lord our God and God of our ancestors, God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, supreme God who responds with kindness. You remember the good deeds of our ancestors and lovingly bring help to us. On this day we ask you for mercy. Melech Ozer Umoshia Umagen. Baruch Atah Adonai Magen Avraham. You are the ruler who helps and saves and shields. Blessed are you, Lord, who protects Abraham. You are the source of life, who grants us healing and strength. You give life to the dead. There is none as great and as powerful as you. Mashiv haruach umorid hagashem, mechalkel chayim bechesed, mechaye metim berachamim rabim, somech noflim verofei cholim, umatir rasurim, umekayem emunato lishenei afar, michamocha ba'al gevurot, umido melach, melach memit umachaye, umatzmiach Yeshua, v'ne'eman ata lahachayot metim. Baruch atah Adonai Mechayeh hametim. Faithful are you to giving life to the dead. Blessed are you, Lord, Master of life and death. Our God and God of our ancestors, show us your care and concern. Remember our ancestors. Recall your anointed, descended from David your servant. Protect Jerusalem, your holy city, and exalt all your people Israel with life and well-being, contentment and peace on this festival of Simchat Torah. Grant us life and blessing and remember us for good. Recall your promise of mercy and redemption. Be merciful to us and save us, for we place our hope in you, loving and merciful God. V'hasiyenu Adonai Eloheinu et birkat moadecha l'chaim u'l'shalom l'simcha l'sason kasher ratzita v'yamarta l'varachenu kadshenu b'mitzotecha v'tein chalkenu b'toratecha sabenu mituvecha v'samach nafshenu Bishuatecha, v'tahir libenu avdecha be'emet, v'anchilenu Adonai Eloheinu, v'simcha v'sason moedei kodshecha, v'yismechu v'cha Yisrael mekadeshei shemecha, Baruch ata Adonai, mekadesh Yisrael, v'hazmanim. O Lord our God, bestow upon us the blessing of your festivals, for life and peace, for joy and gladness, even as you have graciously promised to bless us. Sanctify us through your commandments and grant our portion in your Torah. Give us abundantly of your goodness and make us rejoice in your salvation. Purify our hearts to serve you in truth. In your loving favor, O Lord our God, let us inherit with joy and gladness your festivals. And may Israel, who sanctifies your name, rejoice in you. Blessed are you, O Lord, who hallows Israel and the festivals. Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh Yisrael v'hazmanim. And we say Amen. And now, at the end of the Amidah, we give you the priestly blessing, traditionally given by Aaron and his descendants, the priests. Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha. May the Lord bless you and keep you. Ya'er Adonai panav ve'elecha v'yichuneka. May the Lord make his face shine upon you and be gracious to you. Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. May the Lord lift up his face to you and give you peace. And the last blessing of the Amidah is the prayer for peace. And we'll sing Oseh Shalom, a prayer for peace. Ose shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imru imru amen. Ya'aseh shalom, ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ya'aseh shalom, ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu, v'al kol Yisrael. Ya'aseh shalom, ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu, v'al kol Yisrael. Ya'aseh shalom, ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu, v'al kol Yisrael. Ya'aseh shalom, ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu, v'al kol Yisrael, ve'imru amen. So again, because this is a pilgrim festival, we sing Hallel Psalms, and the ones that we have for this service are Psalm 114 and part of 118. And I'm going to sing the Hebrew and then we'll read the English. Maybe this time we'll read the English for 118. V'tzeit Yisrael mi Mitzrayim, Beit Yaakov me'am lo'ez, Hayta Yehuda lekodsho, Yisrael mamshlotav, Hayam ra'av ayanos, Hayarden yisov le'achor, Harim rakaducha elim, Gevaot kivnei tzon, Malachayam kitanus, Hayarden tisov le'achor, Harim tirkaducha elim, Gevaot kivnei tzon, milifnei Adon chuli aretz, milifnei Eloah Yaakov, ahofchi hatzur agamayim, chalamish lemaino mayim. And at the bottom of that page is a selection from a segment of Psalm 118. And I'll sing that and then we'll read the English on the next page. Odu Ladonai ki tov, ki leolam, ki leolam chasto. Ya na 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 na, ya na 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 na, hodu ladonai ki tov. Ya na 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 na, ya na 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 na, ki leolam chasto. Yomarna, Yomarna, Yisrael, ki leolam, ki leolam chasto. Yomruna, Yomruna, Beit Aharon, ki leolam, ki leolam chasto. Yomruna, Yomruna, Yireh Adonai, ki leolam, ki leolam chasto. Ya na 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 na, ya na 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 na, hodu ladonai ki tov. Ya na 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 na, ya na 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 na, ki leolam chasto. And on the next page, "O give thanks unto the Lord, for he is good, for his mercy endures forever. So let Israel now say, for his mercy endures forever. So let the house of Aaron now say, for his mercy endures forever. So let them now that fear the Lord say, his mercy endures forever." And the blessing after Hallel, "Baruch atah Adonai, melech mehulau, batishbachot." Blessed are you, O Lord, sovereign, acclaimed with songs of praise. If you've ever been at Simchat Torah services, you know that we take the Torahs out and we do 7 hakafot, 7 processions around the synagogue, sometimes dancing for hours. This is not the year that we're going to dance for hours. I'm going to open the ark. We're going to sing Ki Mitzion, and we'll do a couple of brief songs, and then I'll do part of the reading. Ki Mitzion Tetzei Torah, Ki Mitzion Tetzei Torah, Udevar Adonai mi Yerushalayim, Baruch Shenatan Torah, Torah, Baruch Shenatan Torah, Torah, Le'amo Yisrael, B'kedushato. There is a nice Shema melody that we can sing. Shema Yisrael Adoshem Elokeinu Hashem Echad. Shema Yisrael Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad. Shema Yisrael Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad. Shema Yisrael Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad. Baruch Shem Kavod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Shem Kavod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed. Shema Yisrael Adoshem Elokeinu Hashem Echad. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Hine matovu manahim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matovu manahim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov, ya na 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 na. Hine matov, ya na 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 na. So in the booklet there is a lot more of the Torah reading than I am actually going to do. And you have the ability to read this yourself, I hope. On Simchat Torah morning, we read from 3 scrolls. The first one at the end of Deuteronomy, the second one from the beginning of Genesis, and the last one, the sacrifice of the day from the book of Numbers, which we are not going to do at all. We're going to read a little bit from chapter 34 of Deuteronomy, the very last part. And I'm going to let me just check this, verse 5. We're going to start with chapter 34, verse 5. So Moses, the servant of the Lord, died there in the land of Moab at the command of the Lord. He buried him in the valley in the land of Moab near Beit Peor, and no one knows his burial place to this day. Moses was 120 years old when he died. His eyes were undimmed and his vigor unabated. The Israelites bewailed Moses on the steppes of Moab for 30 days. The period of wailing and mourning for Moses came to an end. Now Joshua the son of Nun was filled with the spirit of wisdom, because Moses had laid his hands upon him, and the Israelites heeded him, doing as the Lord had commanded Moses. Never again did there arise in Israel a prophet like Moses, whom the Lord singled out face to face for the various signs and portents that the Lord sent him to display in the land of Egypt against Pharaoh and all his courtiers and his whole country, and for all the great might and awesome power that Moses displayed before all Israel. And in the Hebrew, Vayamot sham Moshe Eved Adonai be'eretz Moab al pi Adonai vayikbor oto bagai be'eretz Moab mul Beit Peor v'lo yada ish et kavurato ad hayom hazeh u'Moshe Ben me'av esrim shana b'moto lo hakata eno v'lo naslu lecho vayivku v'nei Yisrael et Moshe ba'arvot Moab 30 yom vayitmu yemei bechi evel Moshe V'Hoshua binu Malei ruach chochma Ki samach Moshe et yadav alav Vayishma'u elav b'nei Yisrael Vayasu Kasher tiva Adonai et Moshe V'lo kam navi od b'Yisrael Moshe Asher Yida'o Adonai Panim El Panim L'chol ha'otot v'hamoftim Asher Shlacho Adonai La'asod Be'eretz Mitzrayim L'Faro L'chol Abadav L'chol Artso L'chol Hayad HaChazaka L'chol hamorah hagadol asher asa Moshe le'enei kol Yisrael. And then we say chazak chazak v'nitchazek. Let us be strong and strengthen one another to study more Torah. And then we lift that Torah, and then we take the second Sefer Torah, the second Torah scroll, and read the beginning of Genesis. And I am just going to read the first day and the 6th day, but we'll go through the rest of it too a little bit. When God began to create heaven and earth, the earth being unformed and void, with darkness over the surface of the deep, and a wind from God sweeping over the water, God said, "Let there be light," and there was light. God saw that the light was good, and God separated the light from the darkness. God called the light day, and the darkness God called night. And there was evening and there was morning, a first day. And then we go on to the second day, the expanse that separates the water from above, the water below the earth. that the ancients believe was there, and they called the expanse sky. And then the water, on the third day, the water gathers so that there's dry land and plants and vegetation. And God saw that this was good. And then that was the third day. And on the fourth day, God created lights in the sky to separate day from night, serving to tell people when the weeks and the months would be. God saw that this was good, and there was evening and there was morning, a fourth day. And on the fifth day, God said, let the waters bring forth swarms of living creatures and birds that fly above the earth. And God created creepy crawlers. That's not what it says in the text. And God saw that this was good, and he blessed them and said, be fertile and increase, and fill the water in the sea, and let the birds increase on earth. And there was evening and morning of fifth day. And then on the sixth day, God said, let the earth bring forth every kind of living creature, cattle, creeping things, wild beasts. And then God finally says, let us make humans in our image, after our likeness. And they will rule the fish of the sea and the birds in the sky. And God created humans in God's image. In the image of God, God created them. Male and female, he created them. God blessed them, and God said to them, be fertile and increase, fill the earth and master it. Rule the fish of the sea, the birds of the sky, and all the living things that creep on earth. God said, see, I give you every seed-bearing plant that is upon the earth, and every tree that has seed-bearing fruit. They shall be yours for food. And so on. And God saw all that he had made and found it very good. And there was evening and there was morning the sixth day. And then we come to chapter 2, the high point of creation. The heaven and the earth were finished in all their array. On the seventh day, God finished the work that he had been doing. He ceased on the seventh day from all the work that he had done. And God blessed the seventh day and declared it holy, because on it God ceased from all the work of creation that he had done. So I'm going to chant the very beginning of the first chapter, just the first 5 verses, and then I'll chant those few verses at the beginning of chapter 2. Breshit bara Elohim et hashamayim ve'et haaretz v'haaretz hayata tohu vavohu v'choshech al pnei tehom v'ruach Elohim merachefet al pnei hamayim vayomer Elohim yehi or vayehi or vayar Elohim et haor ki tov vayavdel Elohim bein haor uvein hachoshech vayikra Elohim laor yom v'lachoshech kara laila vayerev vayevoker yom echad. And the beginning of chapter 2. Vayechulu hashamayim v'haaretz v'chol tzva'am vayechal Elohim bayom hashvi'i melachto asher asa vayishbot bayom hashvi'i mikol melachto asher asa vayevarech Elohim et yom hashvi'i vayekadesh oto Ki vo shavat mikol melachto asher bara Elohim la'asot. And now we're going to put the Torah back in the ark and sing Eitz Chaim. Eitz Chaim קימבה ותומכיה מאושר דרכיה דרכי נועם וכל נתיבותיה שלום השיבנו אדוני אליך ונשובה חדש חדש ימינו חדש ימינו כקדם. We're going to get ready to complete our service. We're going to chant Aleinu, and then we will sing Adon Olam. Aleinu l'shapeach la'adon hakol, la'tet gedula liotzer breshit, shelo asanu kagoyei ha'aratzot, velo samanu kamishpachot ha'adama, shelo sam chalkenu kahem, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. It is for us to praise the ruler of all and glorify the creator of the world, for giving us a special heritage and a unique destiny. Before our supreme ruler, we bend the knee and bow in devotion. As it is written in the Torah, accept this day with both mind and heart. Know that God's presence fills all of creation. Because we believe in you, we hope for the day when your majesty will triumph and all the world will accept your reign. For it is written in the Torah, the Lord shall rule forever and ever. V'nemar v'haya Adonai l'melech al kol haaretz bayom hahu yihyeh Adonai echad u'shemo Ushemo Echad. It is written in the prophets, the Lord shall be acknowledged ruler of all on the earth. On that day, the Lord will be one and his name one. And if you've ever been to a Simchat Torah service in a traditional synagogue, you know there are a lot of silly things going on. And one of them is sometimes singing part of the liturgy to unusual but familiar melodies. And in that spirit, we're going to conclude Adon Olam by singing Adon Olam to the Yellow Rose of Texas, a melody that I bet you all know. Adon Olam asher malach b'terem kol yitzir nifra li'et nasa b'chetzo kol asay malach shemo nikra v'yacharei kichlot hakol levado yimlok nora v'hu haya v'hu hoteh v'yeh b'tifara v'hu echad v'ein sheni l'hamshelo l'hakbira B'li reshit b'li taklit b'lo ha'oz v'ha'misra V'hu eli v'chai go'ali v'tzurcha v'li be'etzara V'hu nisi u'manosli menat kosi b'yom ekra V'yado avki bruchi be'etishan ve'a'ira Ve'imruchi geviati Adonai li v'lo ira. Chag Sameach, good Yantif.